Only God will judge because only God can judge. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group. My name is Chris Bailey, and I'm so grateful for the Word of God. I'm so grateful because I can say that word judgment and smile. I can smile because I know who the judge is. Now, we're on the road here in Central Texas, and we're grateful that you're taking the time to study in this powerful thought. And it's so deep that we're actually going to break it up. The 5 parts to recognize and to believe God will fight for you. Why is that good news? Well, He's in charge. He's the judge. He's the boss. Even Abraham understands that when he gets a visit before the angels go to Sodom and Gomorrah. It says in Genesis chapter 18:25, that be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from thee. Here it is. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Abraham recognizes who he's talking to. He calls him the judge, not of one place, but of all the earth. So in a legal sense, Abraham has enough sense to know, you know what, I'm not going to appeal to co-counsel, even on my own team. I'm going straight to the bench. I'm going to the one who's in charge and who can decide between life and death. Abraham believes it. God's in control. But look at this verse. In Psalm 7, verse 11, in fact, it says, God judges the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day. So God is not just the judge of those who are out of his will, but he's even the judge of those who are in his will. The righteous is showing his supremacy. That makes him be unbiased, right? It's just like when you go into a court, you're expecting for that judge to be impartial to both the prosecution and to the defense, because the ultimate goal of the judge is to satisfy justice and not who's before the bench. It's the same thing. In fact, that's why we get that model from God himself. He's supreme or above all. Knowing that he's in charge, knowing that he's above all, that's the encouragement to us. Being righteous is to know that I have not just the court system, I have the court itself. I have the judge on my side. In case you don't believe that he's in control, look at nature. Look at the book of nature and the order and the supremacy of God and how even nature obeys. For example, here in Psalm 50, in verse number 6, and the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God is judge himself. Selah. We can even see in nature that the Lord establishes the limits and the bounds that create the world that we live in. Here's a good example. I know some of us might be on the West Coast in the United States. Some of you might be watching from the East Coast in the United States. Some of you may be in another part of the world, but I think we know what a beach is, right? And the beaches on the East Coast in the U.S., they're a little bit different. You know, you've got the Atlantic Ocean, it's a little bit colder. Then you got the Pacific. Waves might be a little bit bigger. The water's a little bit warmer. But there's one thing that every beach has in common, whether it's a rocky beach or a sandy beach or something in between. And that is that the water in the sea goes so far, but no further. In the same way, the sand, the dirt, the rocks that are on shore, they stay where they are and they don't move. There's this limit and there's this bound that it seems to be invisible, but we all know is true. It's the same thing with God. He's the judge of all the earth. He established the ocean so that there was a limit, naturally, that they should have. And the same way, there's a limit that we should have as his creation. Knowing that he is the one who decides the rules of the game, man, isn't it amazing to know that, yes, I know God will fight for me, but here's why your victory is sure. Because now that I know that he's the referee, he makes the rules of the game, and the referee just so happens to be my coach too, how can we lose? All we got to do is believe.